Greetings, this is Kal Kat, the Kal Katster, and this is a very brief review of Good Boys. I talked yesterday, over 24 hours ago. Haven't got around to review again. It's a comedy movie because a kid from Stranger Things and another one from some other Netflix show. I haven't seen Stranger Things yet, but I haven't seen. Um, um, but yeah, yeah, yeah. So, Good Boys. It's rated R because of the swearing and stunts they pull off in it. Reminds me of that the '90s movie. It's sort of like Superbad crossed with the '90s. That '90s movie from last year was Superbad, which was done in the early 2000s. It's kind of the same idea. Jonah Hill was involved in both of those. So, no. Yeah. So, I don't think he was involved in this one though. One of the other guys. There's an Eisenberg, but it wasn't the Eisenberg, Jesse Eisenberg. It was another Eisenberg. Probably no relation. So, yeah. So, the premise of the movie is that it's sort of a boy version of 8th grade and 17 and all that. But not really. They're tweens in it. These tween boys, there are three of them. They're part of the beanbag gang, and they decide that they're going to go to their friend's kissing party because there's going to be girls there. One of them is going to kiss a girl. For some reason, they don't know how to do that, but nah, I don't think anybody knows how to kiss that. Anyway, I certainly didn't at 12, but but yeah, but yeah, so they can relate to that back in the day. Seems that it was forever when I was in puberty, but so yeah, they get a drone. One kid's father has a drone, and not supposed to touch it. Of course, that's an invitation to touch it. They fly the drone into the neighbor's yard, and the neighbor girls, who are teenagers, capture it, and then through various precarious incidents, it gets destroyed, and then they have to get another one from the mall, and basically plot spoilers. Don't know how many people are really going to see this movie though, because even on opening day there was like 12 of us. It's probably not going to make any money. Yeah, so so they cross a freeway, which is incredibly dangerous to get to the mall. But it's done in such a haphazard way that I don't think anybody's going to imitate it. So I wouldn't worry about it. They go to the mall. There's the teenage girls had Molly on them in it's a drug or basically roofies that they had on it, and they put it in a chewable vitamins thing. And at one point, the kids can't get into it because it's childproof. Ha ha! That's funny. And they apparently give it to a cop at some point, and then they have to get more. So they end up at the dealer guy's house trying to like get the drugs from him. And the dealer and the other kids, who are all about teenagers, I suspect. They then get into a fight with them, but one of the kids has a paintball gun, whips it out, and is a really crack shot with it, and manages to defeat all the bad guys. Thought for sure this was going to end up being a dream, but it wasn't. It wasn't a dream. Although the giant black kid that's in it, his parents don't believe him when he tells them the whole story. They're like, "You're fibbing. You're making that up." There's an anti-bullying group called the Scabs. That's sort of the background characters in it. One of them joins the kid that could be a future jock or alcoholic or either. He becomes a singer, and this hilarious Rolling Stones sort of biopic parody. The teacher going, "My masterpiece." Ah, very much like a Marlowe fuck you Kal Kat character. Not he wasn't, but I was not in this movie. But yeah, yeah. It's funny. It's funny. I don't know. I understand the critics like it. See why they like it. Yeah, it's good. Funny. It's probably one of the better comedies so far this year. That and the Dora movie, which is fine. That's for all audiences. This is R. Ironically, tweens won't be able to watch it, but they'll get into it. Psst, their parents will. It technically, I wouldn't actually, considering there's no actual sex in it, they just imply it. They get into a box of dildos and vibrators at one point, which of course they would, and they would use them as weapons to fight the bad guys with, because the giant dildo looks like a club. There's at one point a dildo was used to stop a door. I guess that's kind of twisted and gross off color to do that, and that's where they get their R rating. But really, any sex comedy from the '80s, this would have been PG-13. I mean, it's yeah, except for the cussing, which kids do when they're that age. Yeah, it's like, no, this is PG-13. No, this is not R. They put an R rating on it because he said the F word a couple of times, but there's no sex in it. They didn't go that far. This is not a remake of Kids or 13, which are two very dark dramas from the '90s. It's not like that. Those movies deserved an R. They were hideous, but this one, no. This one's just like a coming of age tale, basically, spoofing the coming of age tale. Every cliche they could think of, they put it in there. As they did with the Skater movie, the '90s, which apparently is still a thing. Yeah, the Skater movie from a couple of years ago, a year ago. My nephew Philip, who's a skater, saw it and he said they basically just made a movie with a bunch of kids that now skate. It's like that's all it is. It's just a bunch of kids hanging out. Yeah, but this one's a little bit different. There's the drone. They have to replace the drone at the store, and the girls get it, and then they blackmail them into going to get it and trade for more drugs, which they've already given away. So, in the story, so they have to. That's what's going on in the story. See, and that's when they give the drugs to the cop, and that's when they go like, oh, now we have to go and get more. And somehow the kids convince the two teenagers to get the other stuff so they can get the drone. Yeah, the logic of the movie doesn't make any sense. It's like, why don't they just, like, they basically have, if they just thought this out for a bit, they'd be like, okay, we'll just say they did it when the father gets home. And yeah, what are they going to do? Or it's gone. They're going to know that it's a fake one when he comes to get it. Or that it's a replacement. And how do they pay for it and all that? How does that work? It's kind of like one of those movies where you don't think much about how they would buy something and get away with getting it without like anything, like just in cash. Like, yeah, of course there's the weird scene where the eBay guy comes in and they say, "You're not a pervert, are you?" Oh, and they're holding dildos. The kids are got the dildos as weapons. And then the guy's like, "No, I'm not." Oh, and he buys the sex doll from him. There's a sex doll in it, and which is risque, but still PG-13. I mean, they don't do anything with it. It's just a sex doll. It's a doll. It's not a person. It's just sitting there like. Was one of those ones with the mouth open, like yeah. They do practice the kissing on the doll, which is funny. When kids are like, "Why is there hair?" The audience is all, ew. It's horrible. There are some pretty sex scenes in this, but PG-13, they don't actually show anything. It's like, no, it's not R if they don't show anything. And I want to see it anyway if they show that. That's gross. Um, but yeah. So yeah, this movie is good boys. Well, they're actually bad boys. Um, yeah, but so yeah, that's pretty much it. Really, I mean, it's all right. I mean, I'm not gonna give it an Oscar thing nod or say, oh, it's the best comedy of the year. It certainly isn't. But it was definitely it was all right. It would be sad if this was the best comedy of the year and get to the end of the year and do the reviews and they're like, oh, this was the best one, really, really. Oh, well, it's yeah, I don't know. But yeah, but it was fine. Yeah. If you want to see irreverent, gross out humor, it's fine. It's very much like in the vein of John Waters meets John Hughes. From back in the day. Yeah, it's gross. It's supposed to be gross. There's puke scenes, of course, in it. And there's a scene in which they find the sex swing dungeon thing, the parents' house. The little sister knows what it is, and she comes in and goes, "What are you doing on? That's a sex swing." And she says, "Oh, that's for sexing." And they're like, "Oh." And then they just scene ends. They're like, "Oh, okay." So I was like, now how does the kid know what that is? What that's for? Yeah, that's gross. Maybe that's what they got the R. How does she know what it is? but but yeah, uh, yeah. Obviously a joke anyway because like that if that kind of thing exists, how would anyone use it? I mean, you'd have to be holding still like and swing back and forth. I guess they could figure it out, but the adults, that is, only adults should have sex swings. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Oh. There was one creepy scene where the teenagers get stoned, the girls, and they go to the house, the kissing party. I thought maybe something creepy was going to happen there, but nothing creepy happened. The girls didn't do anything. Yeah. And this party that they have is this. They were going to play spin the bottle with a beer bottle. They wouldn't even know what that is. How do they know what that is and they don't know what the other thing is? I don't know. But, oh well. Ew. I have played spin the bottle, but nothing happened. It was spin the bottle with a. It wasn't a bottle of beer though. It was a bottle of Coke or something. Yeah, I didn't win, so I didn't lose either. So it never came to me. So. But yeah, it never came to me. Anyway, so yeah, oh, but yeah, there was also a funny scene where the rock people or the rock kid with his fake rock hair is doing the thing and he's in the rock dungeon thing or whatever. It's all made up like a reminiscent of that the fashion show thing, reminiscent of the fashion show kid from Bad Grandpa, and he's all well I'm the rocker guy and I'm going to do coke. There's like these fake lines of coke at the kids' play with the musical going on, and they're like pretending that it's coke. It's like, okay, what kind of school is this? I've never encountered that at school where they would simulate cocaine. That's pretty screwed up. Maybe it was sugar. It's probably sugar. uh, yeah, there's somebody. It's completely irreverent. It's not something that should get best movie awards or anything. It's dumb, but it's fun. Yeah. It's as irreverent as a Borat movie, but as irreverent as a Porky's movie kind of thing, but with a lot less. Well, they're tweens. They can't show anything. It would be gross. Then it would be R. It'd be like, yeah. But yeah, they rated it R, but don't say that. PG-13. Anyway, so. Not that, not that, yeah. Uh, I mean, the target audience is probably tweens, so they gotta be old enough to see the movie. Yeah. So when I was that age, I got into rated R movies anyway. Because local twin screen theater, Sierra Twin Theater, didn't care. Like, it was just all, oh yeah, I don't care. I'm not 18. Go in and watch Shogun Warrior Women, which is also called Barbarian Queen. Or go in and watch, Rambo First Blood or something. Or Nightmare on Elm Street. Which later aired on Creature Features. Yeah, so. Anyway, so. Oh, yes, and go see Mark's Cards and I and the fan film Starship Chimera. A trailer is up on the Chimera channel. So go see the trailer. The movie's coming out. The Star Trek movie's finished. I'm putting it together now, but it's the Prince of Photography has wrapped. Anyway, so yes, this was The Good Boys.